Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? So I had a question about one of my previous videos about making the grass in the game. So I thought I'd just do that again, a tutorial on that. With what I know now, shouldn't take that long to explain it. I went ahead and downloaded a couple things that we can use for the grass. Um, I got these plants, green shrub in the citrus family, and I got a granite rock throw in there. But the grass, I've done so many grasses. I try to do a bush this time. So these are the textures that make it up. These came from fab.com, fab.com. There are free stuff there, some free stuff. Uh, Atlas is one of the things that you use to make like the grass in the game. I'll show you real quick. See, I jumped on the opportunity last year when people that make assets for Unreal 5, the Quixel Megascan folks, um, their stuff's in a lot of games, but anyway, they gave away their whole library last year. All you had to do is just say, "All right, I want it." And of course, this year they got new stuff that they're selling, but all the old stuff, I got all of it. So I'll just type Quixel Atlas, and these are the different atlases, and they go up to 8K. Some of them 4K, but you don't need no 4K. I downloaded 4K just for the video, but you don't need that. But anyway, there's a lot of different ones in here, different grasses. If you're looking for more of the traditional grass, that would be that. Wheat. So, I think this is probably the one we got right now, this shrubbery. So what we'll do is, in the game, whatever level you're going to put it in, um, you need to go into the world editor and save the level. That way in your user folder, it creates the necessary folders for you to add to the level. So these two different levels here. Alright, so I'll use this one. So just in the art folder somewhere. So these are really kind of like decals also, so I kind of just throw them in there where the decals are. Because that's where they're basically like ground. Well, or I put them in ground covers, that'd make it easier. If there's not a folder in there, you can just make one. And like I said, you won't see this in here unless you've already saved your level. So let's just make a new folder. And we'll take these here and put them in there. But I need to make a subfolder or I'll get them all confused. We don't need all of them either, but I'm just going to put them all in here for now anyway. But we don't need them all. I'm surprised it moved that out of the zip. I didn't mean to do that, but that works. So we'll load that level and we'll get to work on that ground cover. One thing you got to know about ground covers, for 4 years that I've messed with this thing, there's been a bug in the game. If the grass, BeamNG grass 3, whatever it's called, if it's not available when you go to load, you'll see no material where the grass is. Uh, and that will not fix itself unless you restart the game, or the level anyway. You make the necessary corrections, but you won't see them until you restart the game, or the level. And it'll drive you crazy if you didn't know that, because you'll be trying to do everything to get it to work, and then like, why ain't it working? It's one of them times a good old-fashioned restart fixes it. That's what that is. I've had people ask about this level. I haven't done anything else with it. I haven't. I've been working on that dummy, that human dummy, and Trevor dummy, and helping a couple people with a couple other things off to the side. And I haven't really gotten to it yet. But the first level is almost done, and I got it for download already in the on the channel. After this tutorial, I'll drive through it one time, show you what it looks like if anybody wants to mess around. Well, the sky's gone. I tell you, it's always something with this damn level too, man. It's like a cursed level, is what it is. That's my little ocean. It's supposed to be like arcadey, like the arcade, you know. It's not supposed to look real. I took all the assets from the game. All this isn't done here. None of that's done. Just the road. And that was that quick S turn that they had in the game. It's hard to turn on it. But yeah, and I plan on doing the other direction, that direction, not that one. And we should have enough room to do at least 3 levels. 4 or 5, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Hell, maybe all of them will fit in there. But I should have started that all on the other side. No, I didn't do that. Now the music's probably about to drive you crazy already. I can get that. I get it too. Sound emitter. That's what it's called. I thought it was called sound. What is it called? I just turned the volume down. How about that? That'll work, won't it? Alright. Go to your terrain tools and go to your terrain painter. And whatever you are painting right here, just remember the name of it here. Not the ground model. Now the ground model would be, for this particular one, would be rocky, just rocks. So you don't worry about that. You just worry about the name of it, what the name is, and whether or not it's a capital S or not. I may be telling you backwards. It may be the damn ground model, but I'm pretty damn sure it's the paint, not the ground model. But I could be wrong on that. It's been a while. Go to this thing here, create object, and pick the ground cover. And what you're going to do is left click one time and then hit escape. Just like that. And that's something else too that's not really explained really well. I mean, you may be clicking and clicking and clicking and like, damn, why ain't I got any, any of this stuff here? Now, BeamNG Grass 3 is the material, the default material. It's probably not going to show up because it's probably missing that texture. So what you'll do is you'll go to your types here. Now you got different types, up to 7 different types you can have. There are a lot of varieties, right? And you can have the billboards, which is regular grass, it's 2-dimensional, or you can have 3D objects, but not both on the same one, or it'll cause flickering really badly. So what we need to do is, in this type here, the layer that it's going to show up on is going to be salt. And as soon as I hit enter, it should put them on there, but it didn't. There, yeah, it did. I just didn't see them. So there's our no material. Like I said, you'd see it. Now let's go ahead and put the new texture in it, but we got to create it first. So we'll create a new material. I'll just call this green bush. I'm not really big on names. Green bush, and I know you can't see it. That's their scaler. They got a problem with their scaler here. It doesn't do right on a 4K display. Create. Now here, good thing about this, switch to PBR, you can import from the asset browser these most of the time. I say most of the time because sometimes it glitches and you drag and drop and it just doesn't do it. It picks a different object that you're not trying to put on, and you're going to assign that to that, but just a minute. Let me get the material on there. You got this dedicated window too that you can like look at it and you can tell it to show you a plane. So what it would look like as the grass if you need that for something to go by instead of that small box. So like I said, you're not going to see it on here yet until you reset the game, reset the level. And this damn thing they did, man, where they made all these assets load. God damn, man. You used to only have to load like 2,000 or 3,000. Now it's got to load 10,000. They want all the stuff to be available to all the levels, no matter the level you're in. Man, it takes a long time to load. But not nearly as much as if you told it to, which one of these, I don't remember where it's at, but it makes it load like 100,000 damn things. I think every asset in the game, I don't know what it does, but I was like, damn, that thing's gonna never finish. Go to your folder that you made, ground cover, and pick the one that's the base texture. Drag it and drop it in the base texture. And you see how it just did that? See, it wants to act funny. That's exactly what it does sometimes. So forget that method. Probably not work most of the time. Rather you just do the way that it does work. Ground cover 5. Alright. Alright, base color. Alright, now I'm going to go down to opacity. You know, it'll save you a lot of time. Just duplicate the one that you already got in the previous one. That way you can just click and it goes right to where it needs to go. If you don't do that, you're going to have to navigate back to that folder every time from well before it levels. And you want to turn on the lerp alpha effect. I'm sorry, not lerp alpha. No, don't turn that on. Turn on alpha clip. And it should, depending on how much you need to remove the alpha background. And then fill in the rest of them. Ambient occlusion. There's not one for that one. I'll just put that one in there. How about that? Roughness. Normal map. Metallic and gloss. Clear coat. The overall roughness. Adjust it to make it kind of like shiny. And metallic. Let me see what we got in there. Metallic. Bump. No, not bump. I guess it really don't matter. I'm not sure. I can't remember what color does what. Certain colors make it more metallic, and I can't remember if it's black or if it's white. I always forget. I'm just going to skip it for now. Base color detail map. Now, if you got a bump map, it's very close to what a high-pass filter looks like, and that's what needs to go in there, is a high-pass filter of your texture. But bump map's pretty close. Change the scaling 1 to 1 if you're going to do that. Basically, it's just a high-pass filter. And what it does is it makes the lines more sharp. Like if I turn it off, I didn't do it right. Oh, I put the wrong one in there. See, that's what the detail map does, taking it on, taking it off. So you see the difference it makes. That's probably too much. So you can set just 0.2 or 0.1. You can do the same thing with the normal mapping. You can increase the amount of normal mapping that's got. I usually don't ever go more than 1. You got a detailed normal map too, is if you have additional normal mapping that's different than the regular normal mapping. So normally you would use like base color detail map as a macro map, where it does a lot of finer details, like clusters. You know what I mean? Like, you have the rocks that's in the sand, and then you have the sand grains for like the base. The normal map, detailed normal map. So different levels of normals. That's pretty much it. We'll save it. And if you ever wondered, when you save material, you'll see save all dirty materials too. All dirty means is in here you can work on textures and never save. And if you go through 5 or 6 textures and you hadn't saved any of them, you can say save dirty materials and it'll save all at the same time, all at once. Now back to that ground cover that is not working right. Terrain tools. Oh, it's God, it's hard to find this. It's hard, man. Your eyes just can't ever get used to this because they all look alike. They ought to be color coded and have a little better artwork, I think, because that and that's shit. They could do better than that. And that looks like dominoes or something. I don't know, man. I don't like this because all of them are the same color and they all look alike. It takes my eyeballs forever to find the one I'm looking for. It's easier to go to the damn scene tree. All right, material. Change that to the one you just made. See, you're not going to see it. I had to check anyway, though, make sure. Unless I ever fixed it. Now, we'll get into this in a minute, but let's go ahead and save our level. And let's reload it. My sky's gone. One thing's missing out of here. Wait 1 second. Be right back. All right, let's alter this a bit. Let's pick a ground cover here, and let's tell it 100,000. That ain't nothing, man. The Jungle Rock Island, they like 400,000, 500,000 for some of them things. Now, the farthest away that you see it, that it can draw, radius 200. If you bring it in closer, like 50, it's going to have to fit all them 100,000 in that smaller area. So if you were to go out too far, 500, then it's going to be very sparse. You know what I mean? You also have what is called the dissolve radius, which is when it starts to dither out. Not become transparent, but does a dithering transparency. You know what I mean? Where it looks like it's checkerboarded, where half the thing's there and the other half isn't. I usually try to make this close to the end of that. But you don't really want to see that pop in either. So you kind of just mess around with it till you find a setting that works for you. Now the sizes. You got different sizes of these things. You got the minimum and the maximum. So you want to say the minimum be that and the maximum be that. You can have some variety. Wind scale, how much the wind affects it. There's a lot of settings. If you have a question about any particular one, let me know. This has to do with objects like the rocks, which I'm going to get to in a second. For now, I think that looks alright. Probably needs more normal mapping. Maybe need to adjust it a bit. Just get the material editor open and type it in the name of it. Good thing about this, you can shade it differently. You know, if it doesn't quite match your level, you know, maybe it's a little different kind of an olive green, you know, the grass and the foliage, or maybe you want it to be, you know, some alien thing. I mean, you can do all that here. You can just tint it. That's basically what you're doing. You're tinting the color that's already here. Double-sided. If you want to see the back. If you do double-sided, though, turn this invert back face normals on. Off. Turn it off. And I think that's pretty much it. You can give it a ground model. So when you run into it, it'll have the properties of whatever it is that you assign to it. That's important if you want to have collisions with it, like bushes. I think that works in here. It's been a while since I messed with it, like I said. So we'll bring a car over and see. Oh, rebuild collisions. Save level, rebuild collisions. I guess they don't work like that. It's the 3D plants that do. These billboards don't do anything. Now, if you don't like that, I don't blame you. I don't either. I just remember how to fix that. I just don't like that, man. It just looks too... Never seen that before. I don't know what this does. In the non-PBR, you had what's called damn it, I can't think of the name of it. Pixel specular, and it lights it based on the game lighting. That's probably about as good as we're gonna get it. It don't look bad. I just ain't crazy about the way it does the light. It'd be nice if they had ray tracing, wouldn't it? It looks better with DLSS and running. Makes it even look less noisy. All right, let's go to back. Let me show you something else. What's the other terrain paint we got? That's sand. Beach sand. Beach sand is what grows on that? Oh, some kind of grass, I guess. We'll put the other bush on it. Or let's do the rock. Let's do that rock. Now you can't import to FBX. You have to convert it. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's load it in Blender. And go ahead and convert it and make a quick low poly model of it. For the LODs. The LOD management. Import FBX. I might not, damn it, did I undo the zip file? Hell no. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this in the art folder. That way it's already in there. Now these textures are hardly ever right either when they come in here. Not for those 3D objects. They use a different shader for like Unreal, I guess. But we'll just get rid of the texture that's on it. Just make a new one. I know that's spelled wrong. I don't even know how to spell granite. I don't read enough to know how to spell good. I don't give a shit. If spelling correction can fix it, that's fine with me. But some things I spell so bad, it don't even know what the hell I'm trying to spell. Image. Now you're only going to put the base texture on it. All the other stuff you'll add in the game. If you add them all in here, you're wasting your time because then they're going to transfer over. Only this base texture. That's the only one that's going to make it. Now how many polys is it? Modifier. Decimate. 6,000 for one rock. All right, let's do this. Let's Shift D. Let's first of all let's rename the thing from something different other than that. Granite rock. And then put an underscore. That's your high detail one, right? Now, how many pixels is it before it changes to that transition to that LOD? We'll put 500. When it's 500 pixels big, less than 500 pixels big, then it'll go to the next LOD. Underscore A, and name them the same thing too. We'll put like, I don't know, 400. They say do half increments, so we'll do what they say. We'll just do half. But if you do half, only do half the decimation. So picking just the object, hiding the other one, you'll go to add a modifier, generate decimate, and just to put 0.5. And you can't hardly tell anything happened. Apply it, and then duplicate it, and then hide the old one, and then rename the new one something like 150. A150. And then this one, I just decimate the crap out of this one. Let's see. I don't get make it too ugly. That'd be good enough. Now we're going to duplicate the low poly rock. And we're going to name it Collision Mesh 1. COL-MESH. No, I'm sorry. COL-MESH-1. And that's their collision mesh. Right there. Now we need to add two empties. They're like folders. They're in here. Add empty plane axes. Just duplicate the first one you got in there that you just made and make a second one. Name one start 0, 0. I'm sorry, base 0, 0. And the next one, name it start 0, 1. Hold shift, left click, drag and drop. Left click, drag and drop. Put start in the base. And then open up base. And then pick these things, these other things, and do the same thing, selecting them all. Hold shift, left click, drag and drop, and put them in the start. Now you got you a game ready rock. Always apply, I'll pick everything, apply all the transforms, and export the DAE into that folder, or a different folder. Put it in there where all the other textures are, so they're all stay together. But put it in its own material. Like, don't put it in a folder that's already got a texture made from the game, because it won't add to it. You'll have to manually add if you do that. So when you export DAE, just put it in that folder that we got in there already. Because there's no DAEs in there, it's not going to make any textures for anything. That's where it's getting it now. We're putting it over there. Rocks, rocks, rocks. Everything's going. And we go back to the game and import it in through the asset browser. You'll need to probably refresh the assets if they haven't already refreshed. You just right click and tell it to refresh them, or rescan the directory, which I forget what it says. Refresh assets or refresh directory, one of them two. And you only have to do the folder that you put them in, like the art folder. But it's doing it for us, so we don't have to do it. So there's a rock there. We'll scale it up a bit. And then go to material editor and save from scene selection. Now what you can do is fill out the rest of it. So we'll go to PBR and we'll go through the different ones to see what we got. We got cavity. We don't use that. We don't use fuzz. Displacement. We'll stick that in there. And it's always going to get a little darker. I mean, a little lighter. I'm sorry, a little lighter when you make it PBR. What I found works, you can take the base texture and put it in there, but just do the strength like 0.1 or 0.2. That's not the right one. Oh, change the scale 1 to 1. See, 1's too much. 0.5's too much. Because it's basically multiplying that color. Alright. Let's see. Normal mapping. Roughness map. I'm not sure which one to use for that. You can try different ones and see what works and don't work. Oh, we do got an ambient occlusion map. I didn't realize that. That is good enough. Now go back to your ground model thing. Ground cover. And in the inspector window, do additional types. We did that one. Do this one. But instead of the billboards, you're going to do a shape. So you tell it where it's at. All right, tell it what layer, which that would be salt, if we want it in there. Oh, probability. I'm gonna put that at least at 1. See, now you got you some rocks in there. Now you can adjust that too. You don't have to have that many. because that is a lot more intensive. You know what I mean? It is a lot more CPU intensive. GPU, whatever. Probability 0.1. You can have some minimum size, some max size, some real small, some real big. Depends on what you want. It's up to you. Now you could do this 6 more times. You could add different billboards, different 3D objects. Um, so there's a lot you can do with that. The wind direction, the wind gust length, the frequency of each gust, the maximum strength of each gust. So you can make it kind of like a wave. See the length of each one of those 20 meters, only 4 meters. Turbulent strength, that's it, jiggling. All right. What else? Is that it? Clumping. You know what clumping means when something clumps together. We need to make this less of those though. Or just have them draw up farther. Oh, shape cull radius has to do with where does it stop drawing the rocks. If you want them to draw out farther, you have to increase that number. And whether or not you want them to have collisions or not, you need to enable that too. I thought you did. The billboard UVs, that's if your texture of your plant. See, we just have one plant takes up the whole thing. But sometimes you'll have 5 or 6 different types of plants on the same image. And you can draw like this box to tell it to be only the one that's there or only the one that's here. That way you can have one texture but have like 6 different varieties of the same thing. Does that make sense? Makes it look more realistic. The Z offset or unset offset depends on how far it's in the ground or how far it's above the ground. It's supposed to be, but I don't see it doing anything. That's what it's supposed to do. So when you make your textures, you want to be mindful where the bottom of the plant is. So looking at their artwork, that would be near the bottom of the page. the stick would touch the ground. But I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of nothing else. I don't remember how to make them collisions work. I thought there was a setting in there, but I don't remember. Bike fly. It's Tony Cartney's bike. He's got it available for purchase. Man, it's incredible what it can do. Very, very fast. Trying to get him back over there would have to do this. I think that's all she wrote. But anyway, that's pretty much that.